Alright lads and lasses, I'm Eccentric Racer and I'm doing a look back this time at Forza Motorsport 2. Yes, I haven't done a video on this yet, and I thought considering I did a look back on Forza 1, I've done one on Forza 3, I've done a couple of videos on it, I'm doing a series on Forza 4, I haven't done anything on Forza 2. I know I did stream it ages ago, but I thought I'd dedicate a video to it. So what can I say about Forza Motorsport 2? It is good. This is a very, very good game. This follows very similar to Motorsport 1 in terms of sort of how it's structured in a way. Essentially the single player is structured very similar. Of course as well you've got your arcade races where you can unlock so many cars. The car list in this was bigger. I think a few cars was missing. I know a Mercedes DTM car was missing. And I think the CLK GTR was swapped. Yeah, the CLK GTR was swapped to be a more road-going version of the car, the more homologated one, rather than the pure racing car. I can unlock Astra V8 DTM. Okay, yeah. So, you know, the car list is, I think, slightly bit... Hang on, I'm going to have to do some maths here, I think, because... is it? Hang on. Oh, God. Damn it, it's not going to work that way. I think, well, what was it? Motorsport 1 had 235. This has got, well, 101 Japanese cars. It's a hell of a lot. What's that? It's going to be 185. Hang on a minute, I'll do the maths real quick. Be right back. 342 cars. Not true. 349 cars. I meant to say 342 buyable cars with the DLC. Yes, Forza Motorsport 2 had 7 unicorn cars. I think I did have one of them when I played the game many years ago. However, I can't remember which one that was. So yes, Forza Motorsport 2 actually had 349 was in this. Obviously, I've got all the DLC installed. At least I think I've got all the DLC. There might be one or two I'm missing. I'm not too sure. Oh, I think I do, because obviously I know the CCGT is here. That's really cheap for a Koenigsegg CCGT. 50,000 credits. I'll get that. Oh, level 42. Yeah, so there was a big improvement on the cars. Like I said, FM1 had about 235. This had into the 300. So I had 100 more overall. And like I said, the single player is very, very similar in terms of, you know, if you win all the races, you get a car at the end. Oh, God damn it, I can't do them yet. Let's have a look. Can I do some of the manufacturing ones? See if I can... I might do one of the... what's that? I need a Ferrari. Any Ferrari. Okay. What Ferraris do I have? 250 GTO and a 360 Modena. That's on 99? Bloody hell, that's an old car. I did not realise that 360 is from 99. Oh, Christ. Ooh, right, okay. 350 horsepower. What's the best car I've got for less than 350 horsepower? Oh, okay, I've got a modified 250 GTO, and I've got a... Wow, the stats are really low. I forgot how low the stats were in this game. Ah, Tommy Kyber and Pretzer. What am I up against? Can't be a race car, fair enough. Best I'm up against is a R34 Skyline. Okay, well, I mean, I'm driving the Tommy Kyver Subaru. Absolutely miss this thing. Yes. Oh, I forgot. Forza 2 also had the race rear bumper, which was which I did quite like, to be honest. I do miss the race rear bumper, having the diffusers and whatnot. So enough about the car list. A much improved car list. I think it includes roughly all the cars from Motorsport 1 with a few added bells and whistles. Obviously, newer cars came in. I think obviously a few was missing, but with this game's newer age, some more cars were introduced and things like that. Yeah, as you can see, this game is from 2007. I really do think this is a very, very good looking game for 2007. It runs smoothly. I mean, yeah, sure, it's, you know, it is showing its age a little bit, but I mean, to be honest, like, yeah, the tarmac mightn't be the most detailed thing in the world. However, it is a really good looking game for its age. I know the car models weren't the greatest. I think once they started bringing in the DLC cars, that's when the car models started to be improved a little bit. But I mean, to be honest, I'm not going to harp on that too much because, well, a fair few of the car models on Forza have been outdated for years now. because I haven't been bothered to update them. Obviously the hood has got new, obviously a lot more bells and whistles. As you can see, we've got like a little ball. I think that's telling me like the G's going that way or something like that. Is my driver's certificate? Nope, I've only got 5 gears. On the left is sort of a drafting meter. Is that Nissan slowly catching up to me? I think it is as well. I need to be a little bit smoother with my steering. Oh no, I'm being caught by a skyline. Well, I'm being caught quite a lot by the skyline. Oh, that's because I'm going into the wall. Oh, crap. It wasn't even a skyline, it was an M3. That was silly of me. I wasn't paying attention whatsoever. Let's try that one again and not be as much of a moron. The handling, okay, now it's taken me a little bit while, but we'll talk about the handling. It is more arcadey than your usual, than sort of your more modern Forzas. I think in this it was a little bit less grippy overall than Motorsport 1. Motorsport 1 you could feel it to be, it was pretty damn arcadey. However, this is a lot less arcadey. It's still a little bit, a fair amount of the cars do have a lot more grip than you'd expect, especially now. However, it is a completely fun handling model. It really, really is a good handling model. The AIs were pretty good. It was sort of, the AIs back here, sort of, they would go for overtakes, they would try and go up the inside, they'd go around the outside of you if they had a much better run. It is all fun and things like that. I do like a little bit more of a active AI. However, I do know they basically do just stick to the racing line if they're not in a battle with anyone, so, you know, there is that. You won't really see them make any form of mistakes. Because they're just glued to the racing line. The mistakes will sort of more come in once they start trying to overtake and whatnot, which is fine enough. The difficulty of it, it's not so much in terms of the AI difficulty. Now, I know I'm sort of decently progressed into this game, so I've got a lot more tougher restrictions to try and build my cars to. I mean, you know, as you saw, this was I couldn't bring a race car and it had to be less than, what was it, 350 horsepower? Something like that? Yeah, I think it was like 350 horsepower. It couldn't be more than. I do like the telemetry on this. It's sort of like a little window. Yeah, oh yeah, the tyres are getting a little bit worn. Yeah, I do actually really like all this stuff. It's really, really cool. Yeah. The telemetry is all fun, and actually, to be honest, it loads really quickly, to be honest. I know in some Forzas it does take a hot minute for the telemetry to load, but it does load fairly quickly. I will give it that. Yeah, okay, yeah, this race is getting a little bit boring now, so I'll just skip to the end, and then I'll have a little bit more, something else to talk about. Alright, okay, there we go, race finished. That's what I was going to talk about as well, the car noises. Now in FM1 they were pretty damn quiet. In this they have obviously made it louder, which is nice. Of course as well, the car rarity, the rarer your car was, the more money you'd actually earn, which is actually, I did quite like that system. I think FM1 had it as well, I think. But obviously as you upgrade your car you actually get more money as well for upgrading the car. Which it was really, really nice. I did quite like that. Obviously, damage did come with a penalty of having to repair your car. Some things as well, fuel and tyre wear. If you ran simulation, you didn't get any bonus money. I think if you ran just cosmetic, you lost money. Yeah, you would lose bonus money. Like actual get negative credits if you made the game too. I don't think you can make it too easy and you'd lose credits, but yeah, that is a big thing. Obviously, leveling up, it's a similar thing. Oh, God damn it. Obviously, when you level up your car, when you get car level, you then earn discounts on upgrades for certain manufacturers. So it works a little bit different. Obviously, in Motorsport 1, you earn that for just leveling up, full stop. For just leveling up, you then earn rewards. I think you unlocked some more cards if you did it in certain regions. Motorsport 2 has the exact same thing. You select your region and then you have to level up in that region. Then you move to another region, then you have to level up in that, etc. That's one of the secret achievements. That's how you get the achievement of getting every single car in the game. You have to swap regions, and swapping regions isn't cheap. I think it's like 500,000 credits to swap region in this. But the interesting thing that I did quite like is that when you leveled up in each region, you actually got a discount on car manufacturers within that region. I think it still stayed if you went then, if you had a European region account and then you decided, well, driver profile, sorry, and then you decided to swap to Asia so you can then level up to get the Asian cars. I think you still kept the discounts on like the European cars, for example. I don't know because I never really went for all the cars. So yes, I'll talk about handling a little bit more. Oh God, careful of the brakes. Don't forget, I'm so used to the Xbox One controller having vibration in the triggers, so that I know when I'm about to lock the brakes. 360 did not have that luxury. Okay, come on, we'll go through there. The leaderboards in this were a little bit different. I don't think there was like proper. There might have been proper rivals in it, possibly, or that could have been introduced into Motorsport 3. However, how it worked in this is that the leaderboards was sort of more for how quickly you actually did the entire event, which is quite interesting to be honest. When do I need to shift with the Subaru? Okay, I do need to short shift as expected with the Subarus. I did find that a little bit interesting to be honest. That it wasn't like best laps; it was more best finishing time, which to be honest, it's kind of an interesting way of doing things. Of course, in this and in FM1, you didn't have dirty laps. Basically, if you ran off the road or you crashed into someone, you'd get a time penalty. In terms of it just increased the amount of time on your current lap. Like, there you are. So if I complete this lap now, oh, bloody hell, got 4.5 second time penalty, as in this lap will be 4.5 seconds slower. It did not penalise you whatsoever, to be honest. And I suppose really, it might have worked a little bit better for a ride. Well, would it? I don't know, because you'd probably do a lot of sneaky shortcuts and it'll probably be quicker than just taking the corner normally for not getting penalised too much. However, drafting did not add a penalty, because why the hell would it? It did not cause any sort of issues where obviously in Motorsport 3 onwards it would cause a dirty lap for drafting a car. There is that. I think I talked about the car sounds a little bit but didn't go fully into it. Yeah, the car sounds were improved in this. As in, well, basically you can hear them better. And I think the turbo... I'm trying to remember if FM1 had turbo noises. I think... yes, it did. I do remember it now. It did have turbo noises. But they were much louder in this. Now, of course, Motorsport 2 still did not have a... oops, press the wrong button. Did not have a first person. It did have a rear view, but you had to be in this camera to see it. And I had different dials and whatnot. You know, it's quite nice, but I'm just going to stick the bonnet. Come on. Oh, I've locked the brakes, locked the brakes, locked the brakes. Yeah. The AIs are pretty easy. I will talk about, obviously, the AIs a little bit more, because I said a little bit about the difficulty. It's not so much the fact that the AIs are like lightning quick that makes them challenging. No, it's the fact that, well, if I pause here, you can see that, you know, we've got a second place is in a Skyline. Now, of course, I've got my car heavily modified. They don't modify their cars whatsoever. However, I'm in a base with other people that are in, other AIs that are in C-Class cars. I know one of the Corvette ones, there's like one of them was in like a C3 Corvette or something like that, which is all the way down in C-Class. And then the reward car was a S-Class Corvette Lingenfelter, sorry, yeah. Which is all the way up in S-Class, so you basically had to modify a Chevrolet Corvette to stand a chance because the Lingenfelter was just so bloody quick. So, you know, that was really the main challenge of it. I mean, I suppose it did, you know, force you to kind of modify your cars, which, you know, if you did, you then get more credits for modifying. So, it kind of... it's a different difficulty system, but it's like the 350 horsepower one. I mean, you saw I could bring A-Class cars if I so wanted against a bunch of B-Class cars and C-Class cars. So, you know, it does make it a little bit of a cake wash. Cake wash? Cake walk. Don't wash cake. Just because a lot of the time I could just max out a car as long as I don't give it more than a set amount of horsepower, I'm sorted. So, you know, yeah. It was alright, but I did kind of wish that the AIs... I mean, yeah, sure, you know, sometimes having the reward car, so you sort of build up to the reward car to then unlock it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel, but I definitely do think that it wasn't the greatest system. That what we got is a little bit better with the AIs, well, with the homologation system from FM7. Yeah. But yeah, it's not a bad game. Obviously, FM1 had the same thing, but I do kind of wish that more AIs would sort of build. If you had a S like my Subaru's B class, I do kind of wish then the AIs would have their cars sort of upgraded a little bit more to be more competitive with me. Are we really doing the GP circuit at least? Oh, bloody hell. It would just make things a little bit more competitive. I'll do this race because I want a Nissan R390, and then I'll show you the track list. Because the track list in this game is pretty good. They did remove a fair amount of the fictional tracks from FM1. They removed Fujimi Kaido, they removed the Dockyard Sprint, they removed Tokyo Alpine Ring, what else did they remove? Blue Mountain. Yeah, so a fair amount of the Forza Motorsport 1 fictional tracks was removed, but we did get a few. Well, the test track circuit had a lot more routes in it now. There was a lot more smaller circuits to go around, which in lower class rate cars were actually quite fun to go around. That's really what they were more ideal for, because they were sort of really easy tracks to get around, designed for the beginning of the game. I do admit I miss this old version of Silverstone. Obviously, you know, a lot of it is the same until we get to sort of Bridge Corner. However, I do really like this this old version of it. Also as well, you probably do hear from time to time, obviously, a bunch of crowds cheering you on as you go around the paddock. It's a nice touch, I will admit. Ooh, Christ, and it's a little bit tighter than I thought. I do quite like that as well. When you're going across the grass, you do actually get a fair amount of sort of dust being kicked up. Your cars do get dirty as you go on with the races, which is a nice little touch, especially when you go on the grass a little bit, or you're sort of pushing the car to the edge, so you're leaving little tyre marks in the grass. Your car gets dirty, and that I did actually really like a lot. That's a nice little touch. You know, it does add a little bit more sense of realism. What I'll do as well, show the track list and then show off the car list a little bit more, because obviously I talked about the number of cars, it went up a little bit. However, I'll talk about the car list more in particular, because we still had a good amount of the pre-modified cars that was in this game. There was a fair few of the pre-modified ones, which I do like. Obviously, as you can see, I'm in a Tommy Kaiva Subaru Impreza. There was the HKS Time Attack Mitsubishi Evo. I think that was that DLC in this game. I can't actually remember. I don't think it was actually. I think it was a Evo. I think it was a 9 or an 8. I cannot remember. But basically, we've got the Time Attack Mitsubishi Evo. There was obviously the Mine Skylines, the Tommy Kaiva Skylines. There was about 3 different modified supers. Obviously, I talked about Lingenfelter, and I think there was a Goldstrand, I think it was, Corvette as well. Yeah, so there was a lot of actually pre-modified cars. Toms as well, with like the MR2s and the... Yeah, it was actually a really good car list. Whilst I'll go on about it, the money in this game. Now, I think there were a few sort of methods that you can do it, that you can earn money. Oh, damn it, I'm rallying a Subaru. Well, I mean, to be honest, it was designed for it. Yeah, money in this game wasn't the trickiest to come by, if I remember correctly, because a lot of the cars in this game were very cheap. The most expensive cars were $500,000 again. Wait, was it $500,000 or was it 250,000? I'm trying to remember now. I can't remember. I'll have to look when we go into the car list. But yeah, a lot of the cars are just very, very cheap in this game. Because, well, of course, you know, that was the thing. Cars were pretty cheap, and then Forza 3 came out, and then with the 250 GTO was bloody 20 million credits. And money in FM3 was not the easiest to come by. That was not a lot of... 20 million was a hell of a lot of money to try and get in Motorsport 3, when that game was pretty... Well, it wasn't the... It was pretty skint on giving you money, I will admit. How the cars in this were very cheap, you know, it kind of balanced it out, but money was can be fairly tricky to come by, but it's more earlier on when you start doing like your more championships and whatnot, doing some of the longer races, then you start earning a little bit more money, and then of course, like I said, getting car levels gave you more money, upgrading your car gave you more money, getting a rarer car gave you more money, so you know, all of that sort of added up. Also, another thing as well that was gone from Motorsport 1. In Motorsport 1, if you bounced off the rev limiter and you had sim damage on, you damaged the engine just instantly. In this, they did remove it. You can still over-rev the engine by shifting down too early. You can still brake it that way, but you can't brake it from bouncing off the rev limiter, which I do quite like that, to be honest. It was a sort of a more welcoming thing, because a lot of the time I would forget that that was a thing, and I'd just sit there at the starting line revving the hell off the car, and then of course I just realised that I've lost like half my power from doing that. So yeah, it was a much nicer to have that gone. You can see on the Subaru, sort of around the wheel arch, it was getting dusty. It was good. The fact that the cars did get dirty when you went on the grass a little bit. Right, okay. As well, there we go. I've won a Nissan R390, and I also received bonus credits for finishing the Invitational. So that was another way to sort of help you make money, was giving you a bunch of money for completing it. I do love the way the effect for when you unlock cars. It was really, really cool. I really did like that. Yeah, it tells you the amount of credits you are away from leveling up and whatnot. No, I'm fine. Let's go look at the car list a little bit. Oh yeah, the body kits. Just before we go into the car list, the body kits in this game. Yeah, customization was good. Obviously, the one thing we did lose was being able to customize the tail lights. That was gone. However, that was only on like, I don't know, 3 cars, 2. So you know, it's nothing to cry about, because it barely affected any cars. Anyway, we've got AB Flug RX-7, Tommy Kyver, Skyline. Yeah, there's a lot of good modified cars. I think there's got a few DLC cars in here. Yeah, Mugen, VIS. Where was it? We'll go on the Eclipse, because I think this has got a bunch of cars. Oh yeah, Auction House was a thing in this. You should have a bunch of body kits, shouldn't you? Yeah, you do. Oh, good Christ almighty. They're ugly. I mean, to be honest, the car's ugly enough. Oh, I can actually put it down to D class if I so wanted. No. I love that. You know, I just love the racing rear body kit. It's just so cool. Yes, just before I'll edit this in the middle of the video, I'll go a little bit more into the customization of the power parts. Obviously, I can add turbo, supercharger, or a centrifugal, or a positive displacement supercharger. Obviously, you can see the power band there. Engine swaps were, I think, removed actually in this. However, another little nice feature that I do wish was brought back. Obviously, as you can see, there's no roll cage upgrade. However, if I do this, oh, it's not on this car. At least I don't think it's on this car. Oh no, it is. You can actually see, if you look at the passenger, if you look on the right hand side of the car, you can actually see it removes a seat in the car. Now, that was absolutely really cool. I did like when it, I do remember that being the thing. Ah, yeah, here we go. I've got a few more body kits in here. Oh, I can sort of have the, what's it, the Forza Motorsport 3 type of look to it. Yeah, the body kit. Oh no, oh wow, there's no race rear wing on this. That's interesting. There you are. You can actually see in there, it's removed one of the seats, which was really, really cool. And I do wish that they'd bring that back. Sorry, interlude within the interlude. I forgot to actually mention about the tyres. Now, as you can see, I've got sport tyres, or I can go for race tyres. Not only that, I can actually select the manufacturer. So if I wanted to go for some high grip responsiveness tyres but really chew through them, I can then go through these. Or if I wanted tyres that had a little bit more life into them, I could go for some like as you can see, the Firestone tyres here, a little bit less grip overall. However, they do last a little bit longer. So, you know, I could go for like the Toyo ones, for instance, which are very responsive, not the grippiest, but I do actually have a fair amount of life in them. And of course, sport tyres, I can then... It was a really nice little system, and it was quite nice, to be honest. I do hope that tyre strategies kind of become more of a thing in the next motorsport, where I can choose my tyre manufacturer, to have less grip but more lifetime in it. Then, of course, the tyre width upgrade was they did both the front and the back at the exact same time. Yeah, I actually quite like that. Sorry, one more thing. As you can see, I'm on the upgrades, and when I actually go through the different stages of air intake, it actually tells you what the upgrade actually does, which I think is a nice little system. So if I go for like the engine block, for instance, as you can see, it installs lighter pulleys, thermostat, a high pressure radiator cap, coolant hose, more all that stuff, and then it tells you what it is. It's really, really cool. I like it. You know, it's a nice little touch that it actually tells you what the upgrade does. It was a lot of detail in Motorsport too. Right. Well, yeah. So the body kits customization in this game was good. I now don't want to be in that car again. You know what? Yeah, why not? I'll just go in the yellow hat Supra. Right. Okay. So, Carl, as you can see, we've got a bunch of a bunch of the pre-modified cars. Duloc was in this as well, so you've got Tom's MR2, obviously the Duloc Supra, which is one of my favourite pre-modified cars, I think, in existence, APR Performance. Anyway, you've got the 5 Supras, so you've got AB Flug, what was it? It was Toggle, so you've got 800 horsepower, 160, 1051, and then, of course, you've got the top secret Supra. Yeah, so you've got a lot of Supras in this, and they were just really, really cool. And then we had all of the different liveried Supras. Did I unlock you? Oh yeah, I do unlock you. I think the other one I bought or unlocked it. No, I think I unlocked it. Ah, there it is. 350,000, I think it is. And yeah, level 15 unlocked the GT1. So yeah, you've got a bunch of different race cars. Honda, what do we have in you? And obviously, of course, I had different DLC cars. NSXL GT, bunch more of the Super GT cars. So yeah, it was a really good car list, and plenty of cars in it. The Japanese cars were actually quite good. And there it is, the Sparco Evo 8, and then the 06 Time Attack. So that's pretty much that. Yeah, it was really, really cool stuff. Obviously, Subaru had the Cusco and Tommy Kaiba. Head over to Italy. We've got Lamborghini. We've got some Lancias, Paganis. I've unlocked none of. Maseratis, there's a lot in them. Oh, the Grand Sport, I absolutely love this car. And then we had DLCs in this as well. MC12 Corsa was a DLC in this. It was actually a really, really good car list. Obviously Gallardo, there was a Miura concept that was a DLC. Obviously I had the Gallardo Superleggera that I had to buy because I love the Superleggera. Diablo GTR, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of good cars brought back from Motorsport 1, that's France and Great Britain. A lot of cars from FM1, and then obviously a few more just bells and whistles thrown onto it. Right, okay. So I'll show off the track list now, and then I'll call it a video. Yeah, multiplayer was quite good in this. Yeah, you can gift the cars from here as well. Expedition, career race, tournament. Yeah, there was. No, there was proper time trials. I don't know what that is. True skill. Oh, yeah, a bunch of other stuff. Arcade. Right, okay, so this will be where you can see all the stuff. Oh, yeah. I think this is where you can... yeah, here you go. There was more of a time trial. I think, oh, bloody hell, I was 401,000th in the world. I can improve on that with the Focus. Right, okay. Enough about that. There was also DLC. Twin Wing Motegi was DLC in this. We obviously had Tsukuba. I will do Expedition because I think it'll show me a little bit better. Right, okay, so yeah, you've got Oh, Nissan Speedway. Obviously, Scuba, Silverstone, New York was still in this. Ignore that little chicane, doesn't happen on. Sebring was brought in, Suzuka was brought in, obviously that was there. Sunset was still a thing. Maple Valley stayed. Silverstone. Mugello was brought in. We still had the Nürburgring, still had the Nordschleife. Only 15 expedition races. Okay, I'll just go free run because I think this will give me all the colours. I do like the little menu system in here. It's really, really cool. Oh yeah, wow, the FXX was in this. Yes, I don't really care because I'm not going to do it. Yes, we've got Mugello, Nordschleife, Road America was DLC in this. What else did we get? New York, I think. Oh yeah, then obviously all the test track stuff, all that was in there, and then you basically got a lot of it in reverse. So it was a pretty good car list. Obviously, you spent a lot of time in those, and then you had a few real world tracks, and so yeah, it was a pretty good track list. Not the most extensive track list, but you know, this was the second game, so they probably couldn't get licensing for a lot of them. But it was a nice car track list. Either way, bloody hell, just the speed on that, yeah, it was absolutely incredible. Oh, yep, crap, I accidentally did the thing. Yeah, a bunch of DLC cars in here. It was good car list. you get my point. It was a very, very good car list. However, I'm going to call it there for a video. I do hope you enjoyed. All feedback is appreciated. If you join my Discord, there'll be a link in the description. Feel free to say hello to me. It's up to you. However, asking me from me, take care, and ciao for now.